It's like I don't care about nothing, man. Yeah. Oh,
What's going on, guys? Coach Carr here, bringing you another video. Now this one is going to go over outliers and two-way frequency tables. Now I don't want to keep you, so let's get to it. So I am having tech issues galore, so my plan is to show you this picture and I'll just go over the thing step by step.
I'm not gonna give you a light. I'm gonna show you the light.
So the one I am doing is going to be on the outliers practice, and I'll be doing number 1. So first step is to put it in order from least to greatest. So once you have done that, you are able to find your median. So the median was the Q2, the Q1 is the lower median, Q3 is the higher median. Now I'm not going to go through step by step because on the page before it you have that written for you, and we also did do practice like this in class.
Boo! You stink!
So I don't think it will necessarily be something we have to do. Now there was 12 numbers, so my original median was between the 76 and 88. Now remember, when you are finding the average between those two, we actually use those numbers when we find our Q1s and our Q3s. So when I look for my Q1, the numbers that I ended up looking at were 67 and 72. So I have to find an average of them, so I add them together, divide by 2, and that's where I got my 69.5. Now when I look at the Q3, that's where I end up using my 106 and 111. And when you add those together and divide by 2, you get 108.5. Now, just like it said on the page before, your next step is to subtract your Q3 and your Q1. So when I do 108.5 minus 69.5, I get 39. So what I do with this number now is multiply it by 1.5. This is going to give me 58.5. This number is going to help me find what numbers my lower outliers can be and what my upper outliers can be. So I take my Q1, which was 69.5, and subtract it with the number I just found, which is 58.5. That gave me 11. So any numbers under 11 is an outlier. So the number 10 is an outlier. Now for my upper limit, I take my Q3, which is 108.5, and add it with 58.5. When I do that, you get 167. So anything above 167 would be considered an upper or a high outlier. Now, we do have a number that does fit this, and that is 169. So for my outliers, we have 10 and 169. So now you should do practice with the other outliers. So I want you to do number 2, 3, and 4. Once you have finished that practice, what I want you to do is the two-way frequency tables. So a two-way frequency table is a powerful tool for examining the relationship between categorical variables. Two-way tables represent a table of counts. They contain frequency values. Joint frequency is entries in the body of the table. So for instance, you have like a little circle with a smiley face, and I put it with the 21, which is indicating the amount of male students who like country music. Now, the body is anything that's not a total. So the 21, the 24 right under it, the 8, and the 13 all would be considered the body of that table. Now, under it is the marginal frequencies, the entries in the total row and the total columns. So you notice that I have a triangle. That triangle, I only put it with the total for who like country music, this does include every total. So like the 21 that disliked it, the 66 in total that they talked to, the 37 female students, and the 29 male students are all included in the marginal frequency. Now, right under it is the relative frequency table. So it is used when we want to compare the different classes and the classes to the entire data set. They have decimal, proportional values, otherwise known as a percentage. So a conditional frequency is the relative frequencies in the body of the table. So just like how the joint frequency above was the bodies of it, that would be considered our conditional frequencies. So the 72% for who like it, 65% of the female students who liked it, 28% for the dislike, and the 35% for the female students who dislike country music. Now, underneath that vocab is the relative marginal frequency. The relative frequency in the total of the table. So anything that is a total, you notice I put a star, so it includes that and any other totals. So like the 21 over 66, the 29 over 66, the 37 over 66, and the 66 over 66. All those would be, because they're in the total section, relative marginal frequency. So what I would like you to do is try the last 2 pages in your note package yourself. I really think that you will be able to, just based on what I have seen in class before.
You think I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. I just believe in you. And I believe in you. Call and order now. All right. Let's go get our hands dirty.
So try to do both of the two-way frequency table examples on there, because they're going to be similar to what you'll see on the test. So that's the end of the video. By now you should be able to know how to solve for an outlier, and you should always be able now to fill out a two-way frequency table and a relative frequency, which is dealing with proportions or a percentage, however you want to say it. So make sure you fill out the practice for the outliers and the two-way frequency tables, but that is the end of another video, so I'm going to check it off. Ya yeet, dab, I'm done.